The person I've got here is Ben Young. He has been working in the industry over the past 10 years or so. Welcome, Ben.
Thanks.
Okay. How did you start off in this industry originally?
I was doing drama at school, and our drama teacher came in one day and asked if anyone wanted to audition for a TV commercial, and if they did, they get half a day off school. So I took the opportunity to have some time off school and went to the audition, and then by fluke got the part, and as a result of that I got an agent, and so then kept getting cast in other things.
How about your passion in directing? Do you do write your own script as well?
I do.
You do?
Yeah, I think I've done 7 short films, and I've written most of them. Yeah, not all of them, but most of them. Yeah.
Most of them, yep. So you think the importance of the story is basically the actual character, the hard line of the story actually driven the the characters?
Yep. If you don't care about the characters, you're not going to be interested in the story. I think, a little mantra of mine is story is the journey for truth, and plot is just the road you take to get there. So I like lots of movies for lots of different reasons, but a film that I think is very well written is Fargo. I think that's a film which has a strong, it's very strong structure, and it's a really good plot, completely driven by characters, and then at the end of the day it has something to say about what it means to be human. But then if I just want to chill out and watch something that I relax by, I'll probably put on Indiana Jones.
Okay, that's a bit of running around. Yeah. Okay, is there any particular director that you admire?
Lots that I admire. One of them is that guy, Stanley Kubrick, and Terrence Malick. I think they're the two that I see their films and wish I'd made them. But then I admire Steven Spielberg as well. I think he's made some great stuff, and there's so many of them that I can't even. Woody Allen's done some great stuff. Yeah, I like so many different directors, all for different reasons. Yeah.
Like the way they direct, or maybe sort of.
Yeah, it's more how they tell a story, and a lot of the times it's probably based on the story that they choose to tell. Like Terrence Malick makes very internal, kind of almost visual poetic films that I think just capture a really, really great mood, and so that's always why I've liked him. And Stanley Kubrick is just really, really interesting, and he's very bold in a lot of the cuts that he makes, and the shot choices that he uses, and so I admire him for that reason, as well as I always like the stories that he chooses to tell. Apart
from film, you do make some other things as well, like music videos, and you've directed some TV dramas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy working in those kind of environment too? Like what kind of?
I really love doing music videos because it's a creative collaboration with a musician, and I think that music is a really important part of music, and sound is a really important part of films. So that's good. And generally with music videos, you get the job because the artist feels that they're on the same page as you creatively, and so you can do what you want. Whereas I've done TV commercials as well, and that's a lot of fun, but it's different there. You kind of have a brief, and it's somebody else's tool. Like, you are accountable in a TV commercial. You have a very specific brief that you need to do, which is fine. So it's in some ways a little less creative than doing something like a music video where you can kind of do whatever you want, which is good. And television drama is fun as well, but it's a completely different beast again. Yeah.
Did you find it easier working with your own script or some other people else's?
I think I find that's a good question, and I can answer that in a few different ways. I write like a director. So I don't write anything in a script that I can't visualize as a shot. So I find my scripts very easy to shoot because I write them in a way which makes sense, and I think about, as I'm writing, how I could possibly do this. And so I don't write things in there which you can't shoot. So my scripts, I find, are very easy to read when it comes to shooting. But then at the same time, because you are also the director and you're so close to it, sometimes it's not as obvious to see what's wrong with it. So often you get into the edit suite and you think, oh, I wish I'd made that choice differently. So I don't think I'm quite as good at being tough on my stories as I am on other people, but I find my scripts easier to shoot than other people's. And other people's scripts are often, it's good to work with because you're telling somebody else's story, and so you're able to come in from a new point of view and really nut them down, and you've got two heads that are better than one, and so you can often find the best way of telling the story, but then sometimes they can be more difficult to shoot than mine because they might be written by a writer who doesn't quite understand how production works, and so it can just sometimes be a little bit messy trying to work out, well, what's this scene actually about, or what's supposed to be happening here.
Do you like doing anything in particular in your spare time and stuff like that?
I like to ice skate in my spare time, and I've just started playing golf. I like to play golf. Yeah, when I was 17, because I started off as an actor, as I was telling you before, and then the work kind of dried up when I was about 17, so I decided the best way for me to keep working as an actor was to go to film school and study screenwriting and write myself the perfect role, which I'm yet to do. And but I found screenwriting at Curtin really sort of satisfying because as an actor you're constantly being told no because you're too fat or too thin or too ugly or too short or too tall, and so you're constantly waiting for other people to tell you when you can't be creative. But as a screenwriter, the only person to stop you from sitting down and doing what you want is you. And so I found that really kind of satisfying when I was at Curtin. And then in my final year there, I had to do a unit called Ads and Music Videos, and I directed a music video for a band called Cartman, and just by sheer fluke, because the video wasn't great or anything, but just by sheer fluke, the band got feature album on Triple J, and so the music video that I made got all over television, and I got nominated for a national award for it, and then all of a sudden all of these bands started coming out and asking me to do music videos, even though directing wasn't something that I ever wanted to do. And then kind of thought, well, I've got a background in performance and screenwriting, and now I'm directing all these music videos, so I should try my hand at drama. So I did the Pack Screen workshops that Annie Murta Monks runs, and made little exercise there and entered it into Trop Fest and got shortlisted, just the best of the rest section, and kind of enjoyed doing that. So then I went, in the first year of the WA Screen Academy, I went there and studied directing. And WA Screen Academy is good because it might be different now, but when I was there, it was the only film school that you could go to that actually taught you how to work with actors. Because if you watch most student films, one of the many things that lets them down is the lack of performance, because it's not their fault. They're just not taught anything about working with actors and how to deal with them and how to read scripts properly. And so that's, I think, the best thing about the Screen Academy is just the access that you have to actors there.
So you think one of the important things is basically the collaboration with the actors? That's one of the key things. Yeah,
it's not just a collaboration with the actors though, it's a collaboration with everybody, because I once heard a very intelligent director say something along the lines of, you're doing a good job as a director when you're the dumbest person in the room. And there's a lot of truth to that, because if I think that I'm going to operate a camera better than my DOP, I'm just an arrogant idiot. It's my job to find somebody who can make my ideas better. And so I will find a DOP and have faith that they're going to make it look as good as they can, and that's probably going to be better than I can do. And so that's one of the things that I do know about directing, which is true. The best directors are just very good at finding people around them who are very, very good and letting them do their job. So it is all collaboration. So I think that one of my biggest jobs is to surround myself around people who are so much smarter and better at what they do than I am. And if I'm brave enough to have faith in them, it'll just make me look better. So how do you prepare for going on set?
Yeah.
I don't always storyboard, but I have done. I think that most importantly, you need to know what each scene is about. So whose point of view is this from? And where's this going to end? And you just principally need to understand the story, because if you understand that, then all the shots will just work themselves out. If you understand the scene and what it needs to do, you're going to be able to work out where to put the camera, and so you're not going to waste your time shooting all of this stuff which just isn't right for the story. And so I think you need to have an idea of that. I think you need to have an idea of blocking. And when I say blocking, I mean things for the actors to do, like business, because there's nothing more boring than showing two people sitting opposite each other in a coffee shop just talking, because it's nothing going on. There's a line in a book I read called "Put the Pope in the Pool," you know. So find something interesting for these people to do while they're speaking, which ideally can maybe reflect something about their character or the theme or something like that. So it's just think about how to make this the most interesting way possible. And I just try and look at a film as being a fictitious essay, you know, like as in I come up with a question or a statement that I want to answer, and I try and prove it through a series of events driven by a protagonist. As a filmmaker, while you're often being told no, if you really, really are desperate to tell a story, you can do it. And I know a lot of really good filmmakers who have constantly been told no by the funding bodies, who go out and make a film off their own bat that does really well. I mean, not my last film, I've just shot a film which isn't finished yet, but I made a film last year just off my own bat, and it has gone into something like 30 international film festivals.
Is that something fishy? We have here a few awards. This one is for Young Filmmakers of the Year in 2005, which that's when you were at WAPA.
Yeah, that was the first year, but I didn't get that for anything I did at WAPA, or the WA Screen Academy. I got that for, I hadn't done anything that was particularly good, but I'd done a lot of stuff which was okay. Like that particular year, I was nominated for Best Actor for a film which I also, you know, co-created and co-produced called, what was it called? It was called Unison. I also made a music video which was nominated for an award, and I made my first film which was called Aisle 4, which was nominated for a WASA as well. And so I think that was an award for being prolific more than good. So yeah, that's when I got that. And the best thing about that one is you win $5,000, which comes in very handy as a poor filmmaker.
Okay, and that one which is the RTRFM Award for Best Music Video, Tick Tick Boom.
Ticky Ticky Boom.
Oh, sorry, Ticky Ticky Boom.
Yeah.
Can't read.
That's for a band called Boys Boys Boys, who are West Australian, and yeah, we won that last year for a music video I did for a song called Ticky Ticky Boom, which is on YouTube. You should look at it.